TIFU By asking my husband for a massage, NSFW. So this just happened a few hours ago. I had a rough day today and have had the worst knot in the middle of my back. Hubby and I were cuddling and things started getting frisky, but before we went any further I asked him to massage my back with my favorite peppermint massage oil. He happily obliged. I got up to pee mid-massage, and when I came back to our room he said something about his jingles burning after he scratched them, but he brushed it off as nothing since it wasn't too bad. I laughed at him because I thought it was funny that he neglected to wash the oil off before scratching his nads. For some reason this didn't register in my head as oh, hey, maybe you should wash the oil off your hands before we get into things. My two brain cells were solely focused on getting the D now that the stupid painful knot was out of my back. So I straddle him, get ready for a wild ride and some good old foreplay, when suddenly, I feel the most intense cheesecake fire and roll over in pain. I'm close to bursting into tears and we both realize what happened. I jump off the bed and manage to stub my big toe pretty bad as I ran to run my cooch under cold water to relieve the burning, only the cold water made it 1,000 times worse. Now I'm actually crying and hubby is trying to help me but also laughing. He's trying to help me wash it off while simultaneously making it worse because still he neglected to wash the oil off his hands. I'm screaming at him to wash his hands and it finally clicks in his head. So now I'm sitting here in bed, with a really irritated butternut and a wet cloth laying over my lady parts to help me relax. Listen, here is, don't get frisky with peppermint massage oil. TL, doctor, asked hubby to give me a massage, resulted in a massive butternut fire. Edit, oh wow, I did not expect this blow up this much. Thank you for the upvotes and the silver. I appreciate your lovely human beings so much and hope you got a good laugh out of this. Had something similar happen. We ran out of lubes and reached for some hand lotion without reading what it was. Turns out it had menthol in it. Felt great till we finished, then it just burned horribly. My experience similar to this was with a fire and ice condom. And I had cheesecake using one and I love eating a girl out like love it. Anyways, this time it happened in reverse. Instead of eating her out and then zucchini we did the opposite. Yeah, that was no fun. Like cheesecake was fun from the sensation from the lube, but once the lube hit my lips and tongue I found it was a horrible mistake. My lips started to burn worse than if I was eating hot wings, and oddly enough all it did to my tongue was thrown my taste buds off for the next couple days. As a dumb teenager my partner once used deep heat, icy hot for Americans as lube. Apparently the pain was indescribable. I met her rather later than that stage. Had a similar experience but with cutting up fresh jalapenos. Note, just wear gloves when cutting hot peppers. Wow, that is a cheesecake up pile up. I think I said anticipatory oh no's at least 4 times while reading. TIFU By putting my best friend through intense emotional turmoil on and off for the last few years. Occasionally, when texting my friends, I'll reply to random messages with incredibly duetty texts. For example, instead of saying yeah man, come over I'll say fo shizzle homie g, skiddy on over to my cribasa stat, you feel dog? FRFR 100% YOLO. I genuinely believed it was all in good fun until today, when I received a call from him crying and very upset at me. My dumb banana forgot he was banana dyslexic. I've been making that poor man's life hell with every stupid text I've sent him. He literally can't coconut read it. He told me he's spent literal hours trying to decipher some of them, and keeps a notebook where he has progressively worked on some of my texts over the last few years. Today, he officially gave up and called me to admit he had no clue what I was saying, and I finally discovered how difficult I was making everyday life for him. TL, doctor, I'm a forgetful butternut who has been sending unreadable texts to my dyslexic friend. Edit, proofreading my texts may also help. Good God. I wanna hug your friend so bad. Kept a notebook. He's a sweet guy. Oh God. I have such second-hand embarrassment and sympathy for the both of you, especially being dyscalcular. I feel that pain. I hope you two had a good laugh over it after a profuse apology. We have lol. He's over here now, pounding beers and stuffing his face with pizza. It's all good lol. Holly coconut top. This is like hilarious and sad. Why didn't the friend just say, before 2 years even, that they didn't understand you? Frown cheesecake hop friend. I guess he was embarrassed. He didn't know I was just being dumb. He thought he was being dumb by not being able to read my texts lol. This reminds me of the time my friend with a stutter asked for a complimentary water at Burger King and the cashier yelled at him, "You ain't getting no complimentary Whoppers." Wow, that's pretty horrible, and definitely funny as zucchini. Wow, that's totally coconut. I wish he would have said something sooner, but we are all so afraid of being made fun of we forget that most people like you are good. Totes totes lil homie, I'm streets ahead homeboy FRFR. TIFU by complimenting someone's tattoo. Obligatory. This happened about 14 years ago. So I work in healthcare. I walk into this little old lady's room and do my normal introduction and let her know what I was there to do. I pull down her blankets to listen to her breath sounds when I catch a glimpse of a tattoo on her arm. Then I blurt out, "Oh wow, cool, you have a tattoo." I was surprised to see a lady in her 70s with a tattoo. Then I got a better look at said tattoo. It was a very sloppy serial number. In that moment I realized that she's probably a World War II concentration camp survivor, and that tattoo is probably a daily reminder of the horrors she endured. I was pretty quiet for the rest of our encounter, worried face. PL Doctor, I complimented a World War II concentration camp survivor's serial number tattoo. Big banana oof. I once asked an elderly gentleman what he did as a teenager and he responded with Auschwitz. If it makes you feel any better, I spent a good portion of time thinking my grandpa had a tattoo from a camp, so I never asked. But then I asked when I was older because I wondered about the story, and turns out he was just a dumbass 18-year-old who tattooed his social security number on his forearm. On the flip side, it was pretty cool that she ended up on your table. It meant she survived. I feel your pain. TIFU by finding an IKEA catalogue while drunk. I am in college and I decided to visit my dad because I hadn't seen him in a while. We decided to get pizza and beer. Of course I got shit-faced because I don't drink all that much normally. So I decided to sit down at the table and chill for a while, and there was an IKEA catalogue in a pile of junk mail. Whilst flipping though it, I found a page of coupons. There was a picture of a person with their mouth open, so I did what any classy drunk person would do. I drew a banana in their mouth. Of course one thing led to another and there were banana, zombies and all sorts of horrific fuckery. The book had pages and pages of all kinds of weird zucchini. I put the book back like normal, assuming my dad would find it later and laugh at it. Today I visited him again and asked if he'd noticed it yet. He told me that he gave it to the neighbor, one of the nicest old ladies I've ever met, because he doesn't shop at IKEA. The LDR, gave my dad's neighbor a book of dicks. I wanted to comment cause only one other person has. Thanks buddy. So this is what it's like to find a thread before it's 8 hours old and the conversation on it has died. Fascinating. Glad to be part of it. I mean, this one's still 3 hours old and there's not much of a conversation, but okay. If you want to participate in lively threads that haven't died down yet, try sorting by rising or top of past hour instead of hot. Oh my god, I would have paid a fair amount of money to see the look on the neighbor's face when she discovered your dicky Artlamau. Let's be real, she'll probably be unfazed. Granny has seen some cheesecake. Are you Banksy? Because if you are, then that catalogue is worth a fortune and the next door neighbor is hella rich.